All right, welcome back. Thanks for staying tuned. All right, let's talk about the women. It was mixed fortunes for Nigeria. Let's talk about the one that's not palatable. We never saw this coming. We thought it wasn't going to happen. Some of us were beginning to think it was our birthright, but now we've been taught a lesson, and it's a very bitter lesson, and very hard pill to swallow. Let's talk about the Flamingos in Leobong. The signs were there, but we ignored it. And that is very painful.
It is really painful, considering the fact that we've always been to the World Cup. And like you rightfully said, we thought it was our birthright. We'll always be at the World Cup, even when we're not playing exactly very well. But I think it's a good lesson. From a neutral perspective, you want to say it's great for African football that other teams who usually you would look at them and think it's a pushover, it's one-way traffic against Nigeria. It's not like that, because the Cameroon under-17 came here, scored 2 goals. We were very confident. We ended up equalizing at home. And going away, I felt that we had a chance, in terms of the quality going forward. But defensively, I was really surprised by the way we played in the first leg in Benin, and I knew that was always going to be an Achilles heel. Great to see Ghana out there. Great to see Ghana out there, because they've been a part of the African teams who've really developed women's football.
You need to pinch yourself and wake up to reality and realize that Nigeria is not among those three.
It's really surprising. But I want to look at things from a neutral perspective. For once, I want to look at things from a neutral perspective and think it's great for African football. Let Nigeria go back and learn. Let other people get an opportunity, because I feel that we're not doing things right in terms of women's football. I hope that we can wake up and start doing things right. Get the league in place, make sure that preparation is top-notch, not just when we have qualifiers, you're just assembling players left, right, and center. I think there's talent, there's real quality.
And this is a question I want to ask you, Leobong, because this has divided opinion. Is it that other teams have caught up with Nigeria, or we just shot ourselves in the leg? The gap is still there.
Gradually, other teams are catching up with us. I think gradually. I think it's
but is the gap still there?
The gap is still there, because there's natural talent in Nigeria. Quite honestly, there's great quality in our country, because when you see the Nigerian girls play, you could see that there's a golfing class in terms of the quality they put out there. But like you said, maybe we've shot ourselves in the foot. Maybe we're getting a touch overconfident. We're thinking we're the giants of women's football in Africa, and anytime we go into the field, whether we prepare well, whether we're applying ourselves well, we'll win matches. And I think when you do things like that, when you start getting complacent, you're going to get punished. And the Cameroonians exactly came to Benin. They didn't come to lie down. They didn't come with a defensive strategy. They came, they played, they showed that expressive nature in them. The Cameroonians are physical too, and it was great to see them come here and play their stuff. And as soon as it was 2-2, I sat here with Austin a couple of weeks ago and said, I'm not quite sure we have in us the quality to go there and beat them 2-0 or 1-0 and without conceding, because I was always afraid we were going to concede. And as soon as the Cameroonians scored first in the return fixture, you just felt that it was game, set, and match.
All right, so as far as you're concerned, a blip, just a bad day in the office?
A blip maybe, a bad day in the office maybe, but we need to go back and start doing things right, because gone are the years or the days where we used to just go into a field with an African team and just absolutely pummel them and absolutely just go through them. But it's not happening again. Teams are strategizing very well. They're developing their leagues. There's a consciousness with women's football on the African continent, and it's exciting. If you want to look at it from a neutral perspective, but from a Nigerian point of view, it's very disappointing. You literally had to look at that mix. There's no Nigeria, there's South Africa, and that really disappoints us.
Okay, all right. So let's leave the Flamingos and hope that the administrators will, dot the I's, cross the T's, and ensure that this doesn't happen again. I personally don't think that the gap has closed. I just believe bad day in the office, a blip, and all of this needs to be sorted out.